So first and foremost, as always, my name is Sean Kozak. I am the acting CEO of the Tickblaze and the NeuroStreet ecosystem. We are happy to have my entire team in here to help assist with these presentations. Just a couple groundkeeping rules. We are recording the event. We will send out a recording post-webinar. You're going to want to watch that because it's got an email with all the special links and all the details. If you have any questions, put them in the chat box. My team will answer them periodically, and then we'll spend some time for some Q&A at the end of this webinar. Now, this is a Tickblaze Marketplace webinar. And what is the Tickblaze Marketplace? The Tickblaze Marketplace is an environment for us to be able to bring strategies, software, signal systems, discretionary trading strategies, automated strategies to the Tickblaze users, right? Obviously, this is a Tickblaze strategy event. And we're very selective with the strategies that we bring into the marketplace because, as you all know, there's good strategies and there's bad strategies, right? When we go through the R&D process of building trading systems, we have a team for this. We have a team of R&D specialists. We've got developers. We've got QA. We've got testers. It's not just, hey, let's build a strategy and bring it to market, right? Like there's a process. And normally the way that process goes, and definitely with this system, is that my trading team and I will trade the strategies manually first. And we'll build a track record manually first. Once that track record says, hey, wow, okay, the strategy's good. We've got a really, really solid edge here. Then we bring it to the community, okay? And once the community starts to use it and the traders start to trade with it and we generate a lot of social proof that the strategy is very, very successful, then we identify, hey, can we actually build this into a software system, right? Is there a way where we could, build indicators or build signals or build trading plans so that traders can make their job a lot easier? And we're going to talk about the evolution of the Trendbreaker signal system because that's exactly what happened with this strategy. We traded it manually. We brought it then into the community. We have a ton of social proof that shows the profitability of the system across traders and just our trading rooms, et cetera. And now what we've done is we had so many traders saying, hey, Sean, can you guys code this? Can you guys build this into a strategy, a system? I'm missing trades and I don't know how much contracts to put on and I don't know where my stops and my targets need to be and all of that. So if this sounds right up your alley, type a yes in the chat box. If you're looking for a turnkey strategy that shows you where to enter, where to place your stops, where to place your targets, and it does it all for you, all you need to do is make sure you turn it on and you let the software do its work. Would this interest you? Yes or no? I just want to know where you guys' heads are at, because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Now, few things. This is a launch. We've never released this software to the industry. We've never built this. We've never launched this on the Tickblaze marketplace. Okay. And what's really unique, and I'm just going to lead with this, and we're going to get into the presentation, is that we're seeing a very, very big trend of traders through our communities gravitating towards more simple strategies. Why? Well, they're easier to trade, right? Like traders make a lot more money when they're not having to overthink things and they don't need to have analysis paralysis and there's not 50 different things going on your charts to be able to identify a good trade. How many of you guys would like simple, consistent, profitable signals? Type a yes in the chat box, because what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all the shit that doesn't work and we're going to get right into the brass tacks of simple strategies that work. Okay. Now, because we're talking about strategies and performance and all of this stuff, I need to cover a quick disclaimer. And if you guys could do me a favor and please just type a Y in the chat box that you've read this disclaimer, you understand and accept the risks, and therefore I'm not here to give you advice and I can't guarantee any profits, right? Appreciate that. Fantastic. Now, the vision here, okay, and it's really important, right? I'm going to explain a few things. Every trader starts with a vision, okay? Every trader that I've ever met or that I've had the privilege of coaching or working with or trading with or just having a conversation with is that every single trader that I've spoken to always started with the same vision, right? They want to be able to trade something that is clear and easy to replicate, They don't want to have to make problems. They don't want to have to make hesitation or have things that are causing them to get out of the strategy or the trades. Because as humans, we have emotions, but we also have the brain and the cognitive function of making decisions under pressure, right? Like we have to assess the market. Then we got to look at the structure. Then we got to look at our indicators. Then we got to understand, okay, am I going to place a trade? Okay, where is the entry? Where is the target? And all of that comes from just information overload. And what happens is traders can't make good money because they can't make sense of the strategy when the markets are always changing all the time. And what ends up happening is that everything just comes crashing down. So your vision was never flawed. What happens is you're in a market that's dynamic and it's constantly changing. Now, how many of you guys would like to make more money, have better trades, and have an easier system to trade? I want to know where you're at on that, because your vision is to become a profitable trader. Your vision has always been to become better at this business. The issue is that we're always going down the wrong path of complexity. Today, we're going to eliminate the complexity, okay? The problem is that people normally rely on indicator-based systems. And let me explain something. There's a big difference between indicator-based systems and price action-based systems. And I'm going to explain something. Indicator-based systems are, well, let me explain. If you took all of the traders around the world and you put them into a room and they all had a computer, they wouldn't know what's on your screens. Or let's just take the entire industry, for example. I'm in Canada. You might be in the United States. Maybe you're in Asia. Maybe you're in Europe. Maybe you're in Latin America. Do you know what's on my screen? No. You have no clue which indicators I have on my screen. You don't know if I'm using momentum. You don't know if I'm using a trend line or an EMA. You don't know if I'm using a supply and demand indicator. You don't know what I'm using. Neither do I. I don't know what you're using. So the market doesn't know what you have on your screen. But you know what the market knows? The high and the low of every single price candle. You know what the market knows? Structure. Markets understand price because everybody sees the same story. And so the reason why trend line strategies have such an edge is because everybody in the world can see price. And therefore, it doesn't matter what I've got on my charts or you've got on your charts, etc. We can look at price and we can say, I can see that. That's very important. The other problem is that traders draw their trends all over the place. I might draw a trend in one spot. You might draw a trend in another spot. Maybe you're drawing a trend line from this high and I'm drawing it from that high. There's no consistency. You never know if the trend is going to give you a pullback entry or a breakout entry. And next thing you know, you don't understand which side of the market to be trading the structure. This is why we built a system to be able to eliminate all of those problems, right? You don't have to worry about drawing your trend lines. You don't have to worry about which structure is drawing the analysis on. You don't have to worry about where to enter and guessing your position size and where do I place my entry and where do I place my stops and targets. We've eliminated this because this is the problem all the traders were facing. Even the problem that all of the traders facing it were manually trading. We've got hundreds of students trading our Trendbreaker manual systems. And the problem that everyone kept coming back was like, Sean, like I can't draw my trend lines fast enough, or I don't know which swing high to draw my trend line off. I don't know where to get my entry. Where do I place my entry? Do I front run the entry? Do I wait for the entry to break? These are all questions that good traders have. And so today we get rid of the problem. Why? Because we fixed it. Okay. We fixed it by automating the price action analysis using market structure and trend line analysis so that we can time your entries perfectly. Why? Because we have entry locations that will show you where to enter on every single trade. Okay. You don't have to even think. You turn the software on, it does everything for you. Okay. You won't have messy charts because you're not using a bunch of useless indicators that are not doing anything for you. You'll also make sure to understand, and the biggest problem is that if you're trading a strategy or you're trading for a prop firm and you have to size your trades properly, how can you actually properly size your trade when every single entry and stop is slightly different? If 1 minute your stop is 16 ticks, then the next one is 30 ticks, and the next one's 8 ticks, you're having to calculate your money management on the fly all the time, and it's a nightmare. So what we've done is we've built in automated trade plans so that it tells you the exact contract size from the entry to the swing structure, so that all you do is you set your dollar value risk inside of the strategy. The indicator plots everything for you, and then all you need to do is enter the trade. You don't even need to think about your money management, your risk and reward analysis, nothing. Like in a perfect world, this is like the gift that keeps on giving, right? And this is where you should say, well, what if the strategy doesn't work, right? Well, Sean, like, show me the results, right? How many of you guys are now thinking that, okay, this sounds too good to be true. Show me the results, right? Show me that this makes money. Anybody thinking it? I'd be thinking it. If I was in your situation and you heard me talking, I'd be thinking, okay, this sounds pretty damn amazing. How is it working? Are there traders making money with it? Can you show me some proof in the pudding? Yeah, I can. And we're going to get to that in just a second. But I want to talk a little bit about the solving of this, because it makes sense for you guys to understand why it's so amazing. Yeah, it automatically adjusts. Yes, it does, Jeffrey. That's because it's driven by structure analysis. So it automatically adjusts to the structure of the market. Absolutely. Now, so we're going to talk about the Trendbreaker signal system. Okay. The Trendbreaker signal system will plot all of the analysis on your charts. Now, if all you did was take every single signal, that would be a disaster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we trade it, the best way to trade it, the best time frames to trade it on, the best bar types to trade it on, etc. Okay. And first, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the software. It plots the entries, it plots the stops. It's going to give you 3 targets. It has built-in money management calculation. So all you need to do is you need to put in the dollar amount that you want to risk on every given trade. And then every single signal will auto adapt. Some size you'll be, your position size will auto adapt to the strategy. Okay. It's very clean. It's very consistent. It's very accurate. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk a little about the demo. I've prepared a demo here today. And what's nice is that we're going to go into the charts and I'm going to show you how well it performed today in the market. Okay. And I've got it on second charts. I've got it on Renko charts. I've got it on pretty much anything you can imagine. But the whole point is that you understand that there's really, really, really profitable ways to trade this. Don't try to change it, right? We've got months and months of data on how well the strategy works. So give me a yes or a no that you're willing to listen to that guidance. If I say, here's the keys to Pandora's box, and you try to build a circle out of a box, well, then you're not teachable. If I sit here and say, okay, take the software, set it up like this, and do it like this, all you need to do is open up your charts. Are you willing to follow that guidance? Yes or no? Because you'd be surprised, right? You'd be surprised if I sit here and I show you a 90% success rate across months of data, and I show you all the social proof, and then you put it on your charts and you say, yeah, Sean, what if I put it on this? Well, what if I do that? Right? Traders want to do that naturally. I don't blame you. Most of us are trying to reinvent the wheel a bit, but you don't need to do that here. Okay. It's already done for you. Now, give me 1 second here. Let's take a look at the demo. Okay. What I'd like to do is I'm going to load it on a couple markets. I've got the S&P and the NASDAQ. What's nice is that it works on any market. If you are going to use Renko charts, I'm going to give you guys a spreadsheet to convert your timeframes. It works exceptionally well on Renko charts. It works really well on second charts. Our trading rooms are running it on 15 and 30-second charts. It really just depends on you. How many of you guys are day traders in here? Type a yes if you're a day trader or a scalper. Right? Looking for several trades a day, looking to get in, get your money, get out, quick targets, quick exits, right? Good. Then I'm going to show you Renko charts and I'm going to show you second charts. Okay. For this example, we're going to talk about Renko charts and then we're going to talk about second charts. You want to know why? Because minute charts are too lagging. You say, what are you talking about? If you load this on a 1 minute or a 5 minute or a 15 minute, it will work. but it's not going to be amazing for day traders. We found sweet spots on the 15-second charts, and you're going to be amazed. And when you use it on Renko charts, wow, man, like, wow. How many of you guys like Renko charts? Type a yes. I don't know if you guys are using Renko chart. Tickblaze has it built in. You don't got to buy the bars. They're already built into the platform. But let's go into it. Okay, let's go into it. Now, I'm going to show you a trade that I took, and we're going to go into the demo. This was me. I traded the software manually. So I traded this manually, just drawing everything out. And I took all these trades manually. You can see the fills on my chart. You know, did $11,000 day there, okay? That was me trading on small Renko charts, okay? Let's go into the charts and take a look at today for a second. Let's go in here. Let's load it. Let's load it. Now, let's take a look at the NASDAQ for a second. We're going to go in here for a second. I took one earlier on a different time frame. We're going to go into this. We're going to look at the S&P as well. Now, let's talk about this. You see the noise here? I'm going to draw a box. We're going to draw a box around this. We're not going to trade here. Market opened this morning, it went sideways. As soon as the EMAs start to flip, what we do is I'm going to give you these EMAs. This isn't just put any EMA on your chart. I've got the 89 and the 144. Okay, so write those numbers down. 89 and 144. Everybody got it? Because the same EMAs are used on the second charts. Okay, and ultimately what we're going to do, okay, we're going to take these EMAs off so you can see it here. Okay. The software, every time we get to the EMAs separating, every time the EMAs start to separating, the trend is showing its head. Okay. When the EMAs are flat, the EMAs are flat. So as soon as we break out of this box off the opening range today, we picked a direction for the market. Okay. You see it made a higher high here off this is the opening range. It just stayed sideways. We came back down. The software will automatically plot that trend line. It's going to show you the entry arrow and it's going to show you the entry line. It's going to tell you the size of your trade because I set the size this way. It's going to go T1, T2, and it's going to plot everything for you. You do not need to think. The market comes back down. It shows another entry. Bing, bang, boom. Gives you another trade. So this was trade number 1, trade number 2 today on the NASDAQ. These are big trades, man. Like this market was killing it today. Here's another one. 1 trade profitable, 2 trade profitable, 3 trade profitable, 4 trade profitable. This one here is a stop out. This one here is a profitable trade. So we've got 6 and 1 today on the NASDAQ, just going off the opening range in the direction of the market. 6 trades, 1 stop out, just on the NASDAQ. You don't have to do anything. Okay, let's take a look at the S&P. S&P had a killer short. Let's talk about that today. We're going to go back to the open because even though the NASDAQ was range bound, the NASDAQ, let's start here, pre-market. Okay, the NASDAQ opened up. Okay, it gave its head here. We're going to talk about that. This is the opening chop and slop. So you give the market time to trade. Okay, the market transitioned down. I'm going to turn the software. Take a look at this drop down. This is what's fun here. Lot of control center. It's like driving a cockpit. The software is pretty heavy, guys. We've got a lot of functionality. If I'm looking to short the market, I'm looking for bullish trend lines. Okay, so take a look here. The market breaks down. We get a short right here. Big move, hits both targets. Then this was the killer short off the open today. At 10 o'clock, the software plotted its levels. We're in the direction of the EMAs. Entry, target, target. Came down almost to 3 targets. Huge trade on the short side. The market transitioned back to the longs once the trend switched. Once the trend switched, this is what I call the diamond trade. For those of you that don't know what the diamond trade, it's the first trade in the new direction. So I'm going to take this and we're going to change it to bullish trend lines like this. And there was the first trade in the new direction. This is a killer trade. Very high probability trade. It's the first automated trend breaker signal after the trend shift. This trade right here makes bank. It makes bank a lot. And what's really sexy about this is that I call this the diamond trade. Why is it the diamond trade? It's the first trend break on the new directional trend shift. And it normally has explosive movement. And it did today. You'll see back-to-back massive trades. Take a look at the S&P today. Boom, boom, boom. Look at these trades, man. Like, look at these. Like, that's killer. Killer trades. And if you want to see there was no zigzag here, I can change the zigzag to make it just a little bit more responsive. And we'll give it a little bit more movement. And let's see if it gave me another trend line. Didn't give it. There was no trend there. Not enough zigzag. There wasn't a trend here. This Renko 1-bar flip doesn't give a zigzag. Okay. Now, this works on Renko charts. It also works on second charts. One of the things about the second charts, we're going to talk about, the second charts can be quite fast. The trade room runs it on second charts. We only trade the second signals when they're in the EMAs. So when the EMAs hit, okay, when the EMAs hit, we're going to make this just a little bit ever so bigger, just like that. We don't trade the trend breaks out of anywhere else but the EMAs because the 15-second chart is quite fast, right? And anytime it comes into the EMAs, big trades. EMA, big trades. If you're looking for cleanliness, you can use the Renkos. Our trading rooms use Renkos and the second charts. Now we'll go over more time on the charts here for a second. I took a trade this morning. It was a nice little trade. Base hit. Did some trades as well on this earlier. Did quite well on this, you know, across a bunch of counts today. So it was quite good day trading it. But let me just talk a little bit about the success of the users. Because one of the things that I find in webinars is that everything looks so great in theory, but there's a story behind this, okay? And the story was, I got thousands of traders coming to us. I need a simple strategy. I just want to get paid as a prop trader. I want to make money. I want to be able to get up. I don't want to have a lot to do. I don't want to be overcomplicating things. I just want to make my money. How many of you guys would agree that that's where your head's at? Yes? I want to know if you guys can relate with this, because let's just face it. You guys got a lot going on in your life. The last thing you need to be doing is sitting behind the screen, trying to reinvent the financial markets. That's our job. That's why we have staff. That's why we have developers. That's why we have strategy consultants. That's why we have an R&D team. You guys come to us and you pay for the services. You pay for the solution. You pay for the luxury of having top tier solutions so that you can get up, you can take a profitable strategy and you can deploy it, right? Now, here's the kicker. It started manually. We've been trading this manually. These are trades that we took in our trading room. You're going to see there's a trend breaker set up here, taking these trades. We're going to talk about this. Here's another trend breaker trade, taking the trades manually. These are traders in our trading room, taking the trades, taking the profits. You can see here's a short right here, right? There's a target. There's a target. We're just going to keep going through this, and then I'm going to show you my trades. We're going to talk about this. This was all done manually. There's another trend breaker trade. You can see the entries, right? Here's another trend breaker trade. See the entries. It started a while back. I started trading this manually on volume charts because I didn't have a lot of time to sit in front of my screens, man. I'm running businesses. I'm a busy guy, right? We've got prop firms, we've got platforms, we've got B2B partners. I can't sit there with the mouse going clickety, clickety, click, trying to trade all day. I like to make my money in the pre-market. I want to trade before the market's even moving because I've got a life to run. I got a business to run. How many of you guys would relate with that? You want to come in, make 3, 4, 5 trades in a very short period of time and make your money and then bounce, right? That's exactly what the power of the trend breaker strategy does, because there's tons of price action pre-market. There's tons of price action in the morning session. This was me trading it, $6,500 trades pre-market on this. This was in the overnight session. This was even in the overnight session. Take a look at this one. Look at these trades. This is a $26,000 day. $26,000 day. Trend breaker setup, entry. Trend breaker setup, exit. Bingo, bango.
Can I jump in here for a second, Sean?
Yes.
I just wanted to share something that I physically did with this system that I think a lot of traders would really like to know that this is possible. A lot of our traders are busy. They have jobs, they have careers, they have businesses. They don't maybe have time to trade during the normal session. Well, I've traded this from like 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
And gotten multiple trades. They were all profitable and it still works. Now, I was trading the 15-second on MNQ. And so, yeah, some of the trades are a little bit smaller, but they're still they're still just as good. So I just want to share that, like, if that's you and you're thinking, hey, I could trade this in the evening, absolutely you can. So just to share that.
Yeah, no, and Thomas, yeah, by all means, just because this was large size doesn't mean you need to trade large size. Let me talk a little bit of what Jim was saying too, is that the NASDAQ presents a ton of opportunity on the Globex Open. You want to know why? Because the overnight session in the NASDAQ is got around the clock trading. Like they have a lot more after hours trading on the NASDAQ. Plus the NASDAQ moves. So there's a really sexy time period in the Globex Open to trade the Trendbreaker system. And Jim's right on it. Not everybody can trade in the morning, right? Now, let me show you this. These are all the timestamps of every single trade I took in one frickin' day. Trading micros, 10, 20 contracts equivalent, but we're scalping, like scalping volume charts on the Trendbreaker setup manually. This was done manually before we coded this. You got to remember, I'm not going to go and invest a ton of money and a ton of time and a ton of freaking resources building software for thousands of traders if it ain't making money. That would be a loser's battle. And that's a burn that I'm not prepared to just go and expenditure in the company is just building software that doesn't make traders money. That doesn't make any sense. So you can't deny what you're seeing here. These are my timestamps. These are the trades. I was taking these screenshots before we even brought it into the community. Then I traded it live and I just take the screenshots and I film it because nobody can deny that. You can't sit there and say, oh, show me that. Are you doing it? Can you show me the entries? Yes. Show me that it works. Show me that you're making money on this. Take a look at this. There's all the timestamps, rescalping it on volume charts. You could trade it on volume charts, Renko charts, second charts. The smaller the time frame, the more trades you're going to take, the faster the action's going to be, right? The bigger the time frame, the less trades you're going to take, the slower the time's going to be. But what better, like, take a look at the timestamp. Like, these are all my trades. Like, I'm trading 100 micros. 100 micros, that's 10 contracts on the NQ. My stop loss is quite tight. Bing, bang, boom. These are killer trades, man. Like, I've seen so many traders take this system in our communities that are just doing it manually and they just cream the market. But the problem is that traders have to do it manually. And that's why we said, well, let's automate the system, not as an algo, but as an automated software solution so that everything is done so that you don't need to be drawing your trend line. Sometimes I would miss trades and I'd be drawing my trend line. And by the time I got the trend line drawn, I couldn't even get into the freaking trade. But you don't want to be going up too big on your time frames because what most people don't realize, there's a lot going on inside of a 1 minute candle. Like there's a lot going on in a 1 minute bar on the NASDAQ. Take a look at the average range on the NQ in just a day, and you take a look at how much movement happens inside of a 1 minute bar. There's trends going on in 1 minute bars that you could be taking big, big trades. You don't even know it's there. And that's what we've been able to extract. Take a look at these trades. Like there's a chart on the left was the 2 minute. The 2 minutes, the higher time frame. Chart on the right, 15-second chart. Going in with 100 micros, that's a 10 lot trade. Stop loss is only like $1,000 because you're trading size, but you're trading on a small chart, small time frame, right? You can do this on full size contracts, micros. You guys can pick and choose your battles, but I promise you that there's a lot of results and a lot of track record on this. We traded this manually, tons and tons and tons. Oh, that was just the trade number one. This was just trade number two, just going back to back. And you got to remember, like this is just a 2 minute chart. That's just a 2 minute chart. All I'm looking at is a direction of the EMAs. So what we decided to do was get rid of the multi-time frame aspect because we started getting really good at the system and started making a shit ton of money. And we said, let's just put EMAs on the chart that take the higher time frame and put it onto the smaller time frame, which then is why we use bigger EMAs on the smaller time frame charts because it's the exact same concept of using multi-time frame. Traders don't want multi-time frame. Like everybody knows it's important and it's nice and it's sexy, but it requires you have to look at two charts. It requires you to have to think twice, which means there's twice the mistakes, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So here's an example of taking trades. Again, we're going to show you some more trades. Okay, here's an example. 2 minute on the left, trend break setup on the right, 15-second, big trades. You can take a look at those timestamps there. I took those trades and this is this. Take a look at this one here. Trend break, 2 minute going down, trend break on the right, bingo, bango, big trades. Okay. Now, here's me posting in the community, Trendbreaker strategy. You can go back and search for the tags. I'm going to go back into the community. We're going to show you because I posted just endless posts of the manual Trendbreaker solution. And you're going to see like there's a narrative there, like just traders trading it. And the reason why it's such a sexy system is it happens every day. The market structure moves every day, right? I didn't control the market today. I loaded the software. It does what it does, right? Market moves, you get the trades. Market doesn't move, you don't take any trades. It's that simple. If the market's in a chop and slop environment, you just sit on your hands and wait till the market to give you the direction, let the EMAs separate, take the trades. Like it's that simple. If you get up in the morning and your EMAs are going back and forth, you draw a box, and I'm going to show you how to do this today. And you wait for the market to move outside that box, and then you start taking trades. How many of you guys can draw a box on your chart? Type a yes. I just want to know how many of you guys, if I teach you how to draw a rectangle on your chart and I give you the exact rules that you could just draw the rectangle. And all you do is wait for that rectangle to be violated, and then you take the trades in that direction. It's that simple. We're going to do that today, and we're going to do it as an exercise, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. How many of you guys would like me to show you the secret sauce of drawing the box? It really is important that you learn that, because when you do that, you stay out of the chop. And then what you do is you just wait until the market shows you, I'm going this way. Because you got to remember, there's a million traders executing trades around the world. You got to let the collective of that group move the market. Chop hurts when you don't know you're in it. When you know you're in it, you can sit on the sidelines and then wait. And we're going to talk about how to identify that. I think this was Jim's charts. I know Jim's colors anywhere. This was Jim's colors. Yeah, this was Jim trading. Yes, Jim?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I came to you, a little bit of a story. Came to Jim, I said, Jim, I'm onto something. He's like, what? He's like, I'm going down in the time frames. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, multi-time frames broken. He's like, what are you talking about? Right? I said, well, what if we went down in time frames? And he's like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, well, there's a lot going on inside the bars that nobody's looking at. I said, what if we went inside smaller fractals and identified really, really good scalp trades? I showed Jim, of course, Jim being the trader that he is, goes and starts trading it, comes back. He says, this shit's real.
It's about how it went too, actually.
It's exactly how it went. I remembered I was coming off of surgery. I was still on medication at the time. He pings me and he says, hey, Sean, we got to bring this to the group. I said, yeah, but let's trade it first. Let's build more stats first, because traders are going to need that, right? And what did we do? We just kept trading it.
Yeah, it was really solid. I couldn't believe how well it did on a 15-second chart. I'm like, this is great. You get a few trades, load up, and then you're done. You don't have to.
And we'll give you the Renko charts. We'll give you the Renko timeframes, because every market's different for Renkos. We have a conversion document. I'll show you how to set it up. Okay. So here's another example, Jim posting in the community, his trades. And we just like to take lots and lots of trades and post it, guys. You can search inside the community. There's a tag. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you in just a second. But these are all the trades. Okay. And then like this is just endless trade after trade after trade. We're just going to keep doing this. Right. These are some big trades. I took some really big trades on the MNQ. There's so many different ways to enter on this. We're going to talk about this. Then what we did was we said, what about the big time frames? And Jim's like, well, I don't know. So what we did was Jim and I sat down. He's like, before we talk about it for the swing trading time frames, let's go back and test it. We went back and started running it on swing trading time frames, and the results were incredible. Like, take a look at what crude did. Like we went and back tested like the first quarter of this year on crude. It was like 10 out of 10 trades hit profit targets on the swing trades. And you say, well, I don't swing trade. Well, hold on a second. You could swing trade micros with very, very, very low overnight margins. Very, very, very easy. Like the brokers put very limited small margins on the overnight margin. So if you are interested in the swing trading, which many, many aren't, I'm just here to tell you that we did this on futures. Then we did it on Forex. We went and did it on the euro. I've never traded the euro once in my life other than the euro futures, but it still worked. 14 out of 11 trades, like 11 out of 14 is a pretty good hit rate, right? Now, once we realized how successful the strategy was, we brought it into the trading room. We said, okay, we're going to package it as a manual system. We're going to bring it into the trading room. And Jeffrey, who's our instructor on the futures side, he started trading it. most profitable trading system to date in the trading room. He's got a 91% hit rate inside of our trading room.
Sean, let me jump in. I have to say just one thing. When you
Yeah.
first told me, go ahead and try this on the 15-second chart, I said, what? You're
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I never traded on a 15-second chart in my life. And now I love that chart.
Everybody wants to listen to the Jedi, right? Let me tell you something. It's hard to teach old traders new things. Jeffrey, Jim, all our guys, these guys got years of experience. When I come to them with something, you better be able to back it up with results because their brains are not going to absorb it. Nobody's going to listen to information when we think we know it all until you show me different. Am I wrong for thinking this, guys? I mean, Jim, you guys have been trading a long time. Jeff, you guys have been trading. If I come to you, unless I back it up with stats, it's really hard to adapt it.
Yeah. I mean, originally when you came to me, it was like trend lines, and I'm like, oh, been there, done that, you know. But then I was like, let me trade it. I'll try it. You know, I'm always up for a challenge. And I just, yeah, it was great. I was like, this is absolutely
can you give me the link to the trade room stats?
Yeah.
John, yeah, here, a great example. We're going to talk about the 15-second, and we're going to talk about the Renkos because it's really a choice, and it's not one is right or wrong. I personally would have one on both. I'll show you. Give me a second.
Yeah, there's the link. In the
Yeah, I'm gonna pull this over. So we trade a lot of strategies. We have many systems. Okay, but take a look at the trend line. This is the Trendbreaker strategy right here. So we track all of the trades inside of the trading. Okay, and we track it. And since we brought it into the trading room, right, it's the most profitable trading system in our community. Like, and it's like you can't get an eye. If you go back and watch all of the recordings of the trading rooms, which we have them inside the members area, and if you look at it, you're going to see like we have other strategies we teach. We do very, very well on other systems. But when it comes down to picking a winner, winner, chicken dinner here, guys, like you can't get around. Like we have a 90% hit rate on this system. And I'm here to tell you that Jeffrey ain't just trading that system. So if all he was trading this, he would probably have double the trades. He's trading other strategies. So you're not always going to catch every single trade. Right now, let me go back and show you something here. Okay. If you're going to use second charts, okay, well, let's go back and draw the box. Normally a 1-to-1, Pavel, normally a 1-to-1. I mean, so here's what you do. Okay. As soon as you start to see, this is important. Okay. This is why you need the big EMAs. So write these numbers down. 89, 144. These are fib numbers. Write them down. No secret sauce here, guys. No secret sauce. I'm not trying to sell you an EMA here. That's not what this is about. How many of you guys wrote those numbers down? 89, 144. Yes? As soon as you see the EMAs cross here and then cross back down below, when the EMAs go up and then cross back down, or even here, as soon as you start to see the cross, stop trading. I want you to immediately drag a line or a rectangle around the highs and the lows of that. Okay. As soon as we break outside of the EMAs and the cross, as soon as we make a higher high outside that box, okay, in the direction of the EMAs, you take the signal. Profitable trade. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Targets. Right? As soon as we get outside that box. Then what happens if you see the EMA cross here? Okay. Here's a cross. Okay. And then all of a sudden it crosses again. Take a look at this. Don't worry about that. I was just testing my connections. So take a look at this. Okay. It crossed here. Then it crossed here. What do we got? Take the high. Take the low. You do not trade inside those boxes. Why? You're in an oscillating market. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a box. Boom, boom, boom. And we wait until the market gets out of the box. Okay. The market came out of the box, poked its head, came back down. Trade. Target, target. Trendline trade, target, target. Trendline trade, target, target. Target, target, target. You can see it. One stop out here. So all you got to do is identify when your EMAs cross this way and then cross that way, draw the box, and don't touch a button until we break above it or below it. It's that simple. As soon as the EMAs show you that they're making a higher, or as soon as you get a higher high, we're pushing out, you come back to the EMAs, take the trade. Pushing out, come back, take the trade. I really like the trend line breaks out of the EMAs because you get higher probability reactions out of them. And these are 144s and 89 EMAs. These are not 20 period EMAs. So the software will do everything for you. So all you got to do is just wait. Whenever you see the line drawing, like this, it'll be drawing. It'll basically give you the break. You take the entry, you take your targets, and that's it. It's going to tell you your position size because every size stop is slightly different. Like the size from here to here is maybe different from here to here and maybe different from here to here, right? So you guys can understand why that's so valuable because you don't have to guess on your position size. Okay, does everything make sense? Now, I only turn the trend lines on in the direction of the EMA. So if I'm looking for an uptrend, okay, when I'm looking for an uptrend, I'm only looking for what? Bearish trend lines. I want to be taking breakouts on bearish trend lines. When I'm in a downtrend, I'm looking for bullish trend lines, right? If I'm trending down to the downside, right here, when the EMAs cross, I'm going to take the software. I'm going to turn off the bearish, turn on the bullish. Bingo, bango. Take a look at that. Massive short. Boom. Target 1 came back to break even, right? Makes sense. Target 1 came back to break even, but the EMAs are flat. Look at this. Crossed up, crossed down. Look at this. You see this? You would have been able to take profits on even this trade here was a small winner. This one was a big winner. This one was a medium winner, small winner, small winner. But what do you see that I'm seeing? EMAs crossed, EMAs crossed. As soon as you get the cross and the cross, do not touch the buy or the sell button. I want you to draw a box. Right here, go to the little rectangle tool, draw a box. Don't take a trade until we get outside that box. It's that simple. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. It's interesting that those boxes were all inside of that box. You would have stayed outside of all that noise, and then you would have waited. Make it sense? Make sense, guys? Now you could tempt it if you want. I mean, if you want to tempt the waters a little bit, we make a lower low here. We come back up. You get the trend line shorts. They both hit targets, right? But then you would have had to draw another box. So normally what happens is sometimes you'll get tempted. You'll get tempted to, you'll see the box, you'll see wait, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're making lower lows, which is not wrong, by the way. It's not wrong. So you wait for the trend line. There it is. Big short. Take a look at that. Short. Target short. Right? You wouldn't have known there was another box there until you got the cross, right? But you would have had 2 back-to-back shorts here that were valid. I would not have traded those because we're in a cross. Makes sense? Now, I'm here to show you the rules so that you can say, you can just stay on the right side of the EMAs. I'm telling you right now, if all you do is follow what I just showed you, your days are going to be fun again. Like making money is fun when you're doing it. It sucks taking losses. And I'm here to tell you that I've developed safeguards to not take losses and only trade on the right side of the market. Now, if you do this on a Renko, you're going to be able to do this on a Renko or a second chart. Do not go into minutes territory. Now I've got a document. I'm going to give you guys some goodies here, okay? Give me a second. I have a document, and this document is a conversion document. A lot of time went into this. This is how you set your Renkos up. So this document is how you set your Renkos up. We're going to go over this tomorrow, Jim, in the AMA, yes? Sure. We're going to go over how to set up we're going to set up how to convert your time frames into Renkos. So if you want to use seconds, you can stick to the 15 second. 15 seconds is a sweet spot. Trust us on that. If you want to use Renkos, you're going to want to set it up. You're going to see I have a 25 Renko, 50 and 18 offset. I'm going to go to an MNQ chart, right? 50 is the reversal. So I'm going to basically take half of that is going to be my brick size. Does this make sense? So you take a look here at 25, 50, 20, right? 25 is the brick size, 50 is the bar. ES, 5, 10, and 4. You're going to see that I have that set up here. Same thing. And the S&P had killer trades today. Killer trades today. Look, it just had a target since we're talking. Boom. Absolutely amazing. I'm here to tell you that sometimes you don't need a whole lot of shit on your charts, guys. Like, if all you want to do is keep it super simple, this is the real deal. And I'm here to tell you that if you really want to make bank, keep it super simple. You can add other things to your strategy arsenal later if you want to add order flow and striker and all these things. But like, you could just trade this and be exceptionally successful. Why? Because I just seen so many traders do very, very well with it. Seen so many traders do very, very well. Take a look at the NASDAQ. Just hit targets on that last trade. All three. Boom, boom, boom. It's exciting. I'm excited to see Jim trade because everybody that touches this does well. I've seen it manually. Nobody's been doing this with the strategy because we just released this. And the reason I like this so much is if we go into the software, let me show you this. You're going to go into the indicators, hit add edit settings. We're going to go in here. And we're going to talk about this. Okay. So inside the parameters, you can basically change the risk per trade. So if you want to risk a certain amount per trade, you can set the dollar value risk, right? So if you're on an MNQ and you want to risk $500 per trade, every single trade plan will be $500. So you don't even need to think. If you're trying to make sure you're staying in the right confinements of the prop firms, etc., yeah, you don't want to be over leveraging. Make sense? Yeah, not that doc. You want the conversion doc? Jim, did we put the conversion doc in the chat box for them?
I didn't, but we certainly can.
Yeah, it's an open document. I put it on YouTube as well. You can share it. Yeah. Everybody can just have the document. It's our gift to you guys. There's a lot of resources in here on converting timeframes. So Jim will put that in there for you guys and you guys can have it and make sure you save it. This is
Just, on these documents, guys, don't send a request to edit them. Just make a copy of them for yourself. Okay.
File, make a copy.
Yeah.
File, make a copy. Cool. You guys can have it. It's going to be a really good resource for you guys to be able to get how to convert your time frames. And then what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to help you set it up. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this. I want to go back in. I want to show a community post for a second. When it comes to back testing, I'm going to show you something. Actually, I'm going to go into the back testing for a second. There's a quant, and there's a back testing. I have one back in here and right here. This was it. This was me back testing the software back before I brought it to Jim. And when I mean I've tested this system, I've tested this system. Like there's a lot of things that you test a little bit and there's a lot of things you test a lot. And when I see something making a lot of money after 15 years of trading, I tend to take it rather serious because you could be at this for 10,000 hours and not get anywhere. Let me tell you, there's a lot of time that I spent in the evenings and the days and the weekends testing this system, which led to the development of the software that you now don't need to do anything. You load it on your chart and you do it. Does this make sense? I'm going to share with you, there was a whole lot that went into this. And if you want to read this post, I'll share it with you guys because you'll understand the level of acumen that went into this. And I'm going to put it to everybody so you guys can have this. You can also take a look here. We had traders trading this manually here recently. Let's go back and take a look. Look at this, Todd, yesterday. This was yesterday. Todd trading this in our community manually, just trading it 3 for 3. Like, you know, like there it is. Trendbreaker, Trendbreaker, Trendbreaker. But he's on the 15-second chart doing it manually. A lot of work, no longer. Nobody needs to do this manually. Gone are the days of having to keep things complicated. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get into the details here. And Let me ask you a couple questions. How many of you guys are trying to get paid as a prop trader? Type a yes. How many of you guys are either in an eval or in a payout account with us or other prop firms, etc.? Right? What is your goal? Making money, right? If you're going to invest in yourself this year, in a strategy, in software, if you came to me and say, hey, what's the most successful strategies that you guys have? I would say the easiest ones come first. This is in my top 2. This and the one and done. Because the one and done is strategically only on the open, but this is all day, every day, all night. So if you're looking for activity and you're looking for consistency, this is it. And there's more results on this than pretty much any other system we've ever built. Yeah. So give me a yes that you guys are thinking this is sexy. You guys enjoy the presentation? Lots of prep went into this. What we're going to do, we've got some sexiness here. Let's give somebody a license. We're always about giving. So let's do that. Let's give somebody a license. We're going to do a poll. All right. Fill out the poll. It'll put you into the randomizer 3000. Who doesn't like to win something, right? Everybody deserves a mulligan once in a while, right? This is, so it's different. If you purchase it manually, we've got an additional credit for you, Rain. If you purchase the manual education side of this, obviously that's not software, but we have an extra discount for everybody that purchased the Trendbreaker manual strategy. Yeah, we'll be sending you an extra coupon in the email. Yep. A lot of money went into building the system and the testing and the teams and stuff like that. So obviously there has to be a cost for the software. But if you did buy the education side of it, then obviously you'll get an extra discount. No problem on that. Different software, Jason, different software. We had to recode it from scratch. We had to build all the trading plans and the money management engines. So it's totally different. Similar in that it draws trend lines, but it is different. Yeah. Perfect. All right, guys, I'm going to end the poll. Perfect. For everybody here that fill out the poll, we'll run a draw on that. And maybe we can just pick somebody now, Jim. Let's just go in and pick somebody out of that. Maybe you can just pick somebody out of the...
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just give me like 2 minutes.
Yeah, not a problem. So we're gonna announce the winner here. That way, you know if you won. Let's go take a look at the S&P for a second while he's getting ready to announce the winner. I want to take a look at the S&P. Take a look at the S&P. So let's go take a look at the actual. Actually, let's take a look at the NASDAQ S&P. Yeah. So I don't trade the I do not trade the S&P on the 15-second. So I would only trade the S&P on the Renko. So that's just important to know this. The only time I'll go into a second chart is on the NASDAQ. If you're going to trade the S&P, I would do it on a Renko chart. Yeah. Why? Because the NASDAQ moves a lot faster on a second chart. You get more movement, right? And now I wouldn't take this signal because it's not in the EMAs. It's got to be in the EMAs, right? Even this one's borderline for me. I'm not a big fan of those. If it's sitting on the EMAs or if it's very close to the EMA. Yeah, very, very close. Yeah. I want to go back and take a look at, the overnight. Take a look at this. Okay. So take a look at this. Okay. You get the chop and slop. I'm going to turn off all of the zones for a second. Okay. So let's take a look. This is how you draw the box. Okay. You get the cross down. You get the cross up. So what you do is you take the high that led to that cross, you take the low that led to that cross, and that's your box. Does this make sense, guys? So what we're going to do is we're going to just grab a rectangle and we're going to draw the box. I don't trade inside the box. As soon as the box is violated, EMA's spread, I need bearish trend lines if I'm trying to go long. Let me just grab this. This is the overnight session. So let's go in here and change the session settings. Let's take a look here. I'm going to show you something cool. You're going to see how sexy this is in the overnight. It's very sexy. Okay. So there's the
Hey,
overnight. Yep.
ChatGPT picked a winner randomly, and it
Jesus.
is Nitin Jacob. Nitin Jacob. I'm sure I'm
Put it in the
mispronouncing
chat
that
box.
name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Put it in the
you
chat
won,
box.
whoever
Yeah.
you are.
Perfect. Can you just put it in the chat box if he's here? Nitin Jacob. Fantastic. So congratulations, Nitin. You won. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to turn off we're going to turn on bearish trend lines. Why? Because the market is going to give us a transition. There was the first trend line in the overnight session off the Globex Open, right? Congratulations, Nitin. You won the system. Good for you, brother. Hopefully you enjoy the win. Yeah, we'll send you out a license. So here's the cool thing. Break out of the box. First signal in the EMAs, bing, bang, boom. This was last night in the overnight, right off the open. Look at that setup. Boom, boom, boom. Killer. Okay. Now, the overnight session quietens down, so obviously you can choose, but you can see here that there was a stop out here, win, 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 win. So 2 for 2 here. The overnight gets quiet, so depending on how much you want to trade in the overnight, but you can see that this was last night's in the Globex. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades, 2 losses. So that was 5 for 7 here. And the EMAs crossed down. This was in the overnight this morning. This was this morning. We just talked about that. So yeah. It's only for Tickblaze. Yeah, this is on Tickblaze. Yeah. The Tickblaze trading platform. So if you're using the Tickblaze platform. Now I want to show you a couple things. We're going to get into this. When you let's go into pricing, then we'll go through the platform and we'll go through the community, et cetera, et cetera. So how many of you guys are ready for pricing? Want to talk discussions, discounts, offers, launch discounts? We've got a really, really special promo for this because it's a huge, huge, big, huge release. I would assume that, Jeffrey, you're going to probably adapt this into the trading room. It's going to save you a world of hurt, brother.
No question. Already working on it.
Yeah. And you might want to pull up the Renkos because it's really sexy on the Renkos too.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the plan.
So let's do this, guys. Let's get into it. So if you're in the Gladiator, it has nothing to do with that. Prop is prop. This is Tickblaze Marketplace. If you're trading on Tickblaze, you can use this. Don't got to worry because it's free for retail traders. So if you come in, you can download the platform. It's free. If you're coming in from prop or any of our prop firm partners, it comes with the prop firm. So you're already using Tickblaze. You don't have to buy Tickblaze to take advantage of this, right? The platform comes, it's all part of it. Okay. So tomorrow, if you're in the Warrior and you are in the Gladiator, you can download Tickblaze and you can use it, but you'll need to buy the app, John. Yeah, it's an app. You need to buy the app. It doesn't come included in the platform. It's from the marketplace. Yeah. We'll go and show you that here in just a second. The platform comes with the prop firms, but not the apps. Yeah. Now, VIP training tomorrow, 2 p.m. We're going to be going over everything you need. It's not an algo, Tom. No, it's everything but an algo. Yeah, it's everything but an algo. It sends a signal, plots the trade, plots everything, but it doesn't enter the trades for you. Yeah. Let me show you a few things. Okay. So just so those of you that are new here, okay, when you go to Tickblaze, there's some things you need to understand about Tickblaze as a platform. It's free for retail traders. So a lot of you have come in from our prop firm partners. A lot of you have come in from the prop firm. So if you're in a Warrior account, a Gladiator, maybe you're with some of our other prop firm partners. We do have other firms using Tickblaze. Ultimately, what you'll do is you'll just some resources you need to understand. When you go to the marketplace, okay, you click on marketplace. It's going to explain what the marketplace is. And then you come here to the shop page and you're going to see there's a ton of free stuff here. Okay. There's a ton of free indicators. There's a ton of stuff. You can click on the free stuff. But when you click on the indicators in the strategy section, that's exactly where you're going to see the Trendbreaker signal system. This is a premium app. These are premium systems. We don't just roll these out like hotcakes. We don't just roll these out like just random systems. These take months to build, months to trade, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, if you're looking for the real sexy, profitable strategies, that's here. And the Trendbreaker signal system is here. We've just released it. So that way you understand it. The apps are not a part of the Tickblaze offering. You'd need to buy those independently. Okay. Which is why we're here today. So then what you do is you come in and there's a community section here. If you click on community, you're going to join the community. You come and view community. Why is this important? Okay. When you come in here, you can literally search for Trendbreaker. Okay. And you're going to see all of the posts. See Trendbreaker. All of these posts are here made for Trendbreaker. You can load all the Trendbreaker posts. There's a ton of people trading this manually right now. You can go in, you can a day ago, 18 days ago, you can just go take a look at this. But this is all here for you guys to take advantage of. So just know that this is all part of the Tickblaze offering and it's all part of the platform. Okay. Make sense? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. We're going to just leave it on the off lunch. Thank you for your attendance and thank you for your excitement about what we're doing here. We spent a lot of time getting these things for you guys. So hopefully you guys can enjoy this and we'll see you guys on the charts. Tomorrow should be a nice day for trading. Take care, traders. And it won't be for a while, Raj. I'm going on a little bit of a trip with my wife. We're going on a little bit of a road trip. We'll be back after July 4th. And then we'll look to see then. Yeah. Take care, traders, and happy trading. Enjoy the Trendbreaker. This is the real deal. Take care, guys.